Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title above, this is going to be my question and answer video number 2. I did a question and answer video a couple of months back when I started to post more videos back on my channel. And since I have new followers, which hello all my new followers, welcome my channel. I'm so excited you guys are subscribing to my channel. And if you are coming from my Instagram, welcome. Hi there, I'm Brianna. Musical Love and Brie on Instagram, or basically Brie123 here on YouTube. But anyway, since I have so many new followers, I thought it would be fun to do another Q&A with you guys. And I printed out all the questions that you guys gave me, which you gave me, let's see, 45 questions. Holy cow. Now some of them are duplicates, so I went about and organized it because I tried to record this a couple of days ago, but it wasn't organized, and so the questions were all over the place, and I thought, why don't I just organize it like I normally do, because I like to organize things, and that way this video can have some order. So I'm pretty sure this video is going to be very long, so relax, maybe pull up a chair, pop some popcorn, or eat some dinner, because you're in for a long video. So without further ado, let's hop into the questions. I'm going to start with YouTube questions because there's 10 questions between two people. First question is from Wonderland, and they ask, what's your favorite Bible passage? My favorite Bible passage would have to be the book of Esther. I love that story. It's so empowering, and it shows that you can be a woman of God and stand for your beliefs and not be ashamed of what you believe in and stand true to who you are. And I just admire that book. It's so inspiring, and I think it's a great book for anyone to read. Do you have any favorite lyricists or favorite song lyrics? Favorite lyricists, I would probably have to say would be, I don't know, like fun kid kind of music. I would say Alan Menken. I mean, I grew up with all his music, and Tim Rice. Like, I grew up with all their music growing up because I was a Disney lover, and I still am. But I would say maybe Dara McLean. I really love her music, and the lyrics speak to me in such a way that no other Christian music really has connected with me and my story and what I've been going through in life. And as far as favorite song lyrics are concerned, I used to walk this town with my head hanging down. I felt so alone. I was so close to giving up, lost all hope and love, so far from home. Thank you for finding me when you did. You changed my life. Now I believe that love is all that I'll ever need. I promise my heart and all that I am, I'm yours forever, my love. So yeah, I'm yours forever. That song, Yours Forever, that's actually what it's called. That song, those lyrics just hit me right there. Is there a demographic you seem to get along with most, or which one is your favorite to interact with? That's a great question. I adore kids. It's why I work at a theme park. It's why I would love to work at several theme parks. But I simply adore children. You know how Disney princesses, the woodland creatures flock to them? Well, for me, the little kids flock to me. It's insane. I've been with people where I'll be at the grocery store or in line for a ride or anything like that, and kids will stare at me. Kind of creepy in a way if you think about it, but I'll have children stare at me. So instead of looking at them like, what's up? I'll say, hey, how's it going? Are you excited for this ride? I'll just interact with them, and they come alive and they talk to me. And it's so much fun because little kids have the darnest things to say. They have the most hilarious things to say, and they're so carefree, down to earth, and they are not afraid to tell you exactly how they feel. So I just love children because they don't have any life's problems that they have to face. They don't have anything standing in their way. They have such carefree lives and have beautiful spirits that I truly get along with that demographic the most. As long as they aren't gross, any bad habits and any good habits. As long as they aren't gross. Well, I tend to not bite my nails, but I tend to rip off my nails. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know if you guys do it, but like if they get a little longer than there should be, or if there's like a little chip or crack in the nail, I'll just slowly peel it off. I don't know, that's what I do. I don't bite my nails, but I like to peel it off and make sure that they're exactly straight. Good habit, I like to be organized. I have my planner on me at all times. I like to type things up. Like, I like things to be organized because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my craft. And so I like to make sure that I have everything. That way I don't say, yes, I would love to join you for a party when I have 10,000 things that I'm actually doing that day. So I'd say that is a good habit. Brittany Faith, I love this girl. I haven't talked to her in a while. Yes, I remember you. She has a couple questions as well, and she asks, how would you describe the feeling you get when you're on stage? I love this question. Well, if it's the first time I'm performing that particular show, I am so excited, so nervous, but I honestly feed off the energy that the audience gives. And for anyone who is going to a show, be alert, be engaged with the people in the show, because I guarantee if you're responsive, if you're clapping, if you're cheering, if you're laughing at the right moments, the actors and actresses are going to feed off of that, and it's going to be such a better performance than if you're just sitting there dull, watching a show, enjoying it, but just sitting there not really engaging or interacting. So if an audience is interactive and I can tell their energy is up high, then my energy is up high and I love it. I have some of the best shows when the audience is just there. Typical shows, I mean, not necessarily at SeaWorld, but typical shows, you get to be something that you're not. You get to be a character that you probably would never be in real life. Like Fontaine, I would pray to God that I would never have to step a foot into her path or her shoes, but you know, you get to portray something that you're not, but you get to put yourself into it. And so to portray a character that is so raw, just going through so much in her life, it's just a blast. It's such a blast to step into someone else's shoes for about an hour, 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours, and experience something that you probably will never experience outside of theater. Her next question is, what's your recipe for a best friend? This is such a fascinating question. Well, they have to be loyal, trustworthy, not two-faced. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, is when people are two-faced. I cannot stand it. And I've lost a lot of friendships because of that. I like funny friends. I think most of my friends are pretty funny. Down to earth. Most of my best friends are huge Disney fans, so that's kind of cool. We all have that same passion. Are not afraid to be honest with me. You don't have to be brutally honest, but at least be honest. Like, especially, okay, if I've got lipstick on my teeth, you know a best friend is a best friend when they tell you, hey, another friend will stand up for you, will back you up, will support you no matter what your decisions are. You know, they may not fully agree with it, and they'll tell you that they don't agree with it, but they're going to support you no matter what because they love you unconditionally. I'm sure there's so much more that I could say about friendships, but I would say probably that makes a good recipe for a best friend. And luckily, all my best friends are like that, which is pretty stinking awesome. Oh, communication is a great one too. Communication makes a relationship, no matter what. Best friend, boyfriend, family member, like communication is key for a good, healthy recipe of a best friend. Movie that reminds you most of your childhood. Okay, I have 4 movies that remind me of my childhood. One, most of you will probably know. The other 3, you probably won't. And if you do, high five. Give this video a thumbs up because y'all are amazing and you probably lived in the 90s or 80s. But number 1, Beauty and the Beast. Duh. Number 2, Quest for Camelot. If you know that, comment down below. Number 3, Penguin and the Pebble. If you know that movie, comment down below. Oh, I love that movie. And number 4, Cats Don't Dance. So if you know all 4 of those movies, comment down below and tell me what's one of your favorite songs from those movies. Number 8, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Well, let's see, in 10 years, I will be 33. Hopefully, I will have settled down and maybe have kids. I'm planning on going into beauty school, so maybe being a makeup artist, I don't know. I would love for theater to be my career, but when I'm that age, I hope that I've already settled down, and when I become a mom, I want to be a full-time mom. PTA mom, soccer mom. You know, I just want to invest my entire life into my kids and be that stay-at-home mom that is with them no matter what. Which of your childhood dreams has come true, and which ones are you still waiting for? Whew. Childhood dreams that have come true. Well, when I was a little kid, I wanted to be Annie, and I got that opportunity. I wanted to be Cinderella. I got that opportunity. I wanted to be able to be Belle, and while I'm not her at Disney, I've had the opportunity to be her, not on stage. Oh, that would be a dream come true. 2 would be Belle in Beauty and the Beast, the musical. That is something that I want to be desperately. Number 3 would be a professional singer. Like, I've always wanted to professionally sing. And I guess I kind of do that. So yeah, that would be one that's come true. Cool. And her final question is, do you want to build a snowman? No. Sorry. No. All right. Moving right along to Instagram questions. Here we go. This is going to be a long one. Woo! All right. 3 people asked this question. Pink goes good with green, Ma period Riss, and the chorus girl asked, what got you into theater? Growing up, my dad was a music association pastor. Therefore, he was a music pastor, worship pastor, whatever you want to call it. And he was a lover, still is, but a lover of musical theater. And we always did theatrical productions at our church. So my dad invested himself into musical theater. He loves musical theater. And that is something that I've always had in my life. Like, it's nothing that I've really never lived without. So I really don't know a life without musical theater. And that actually ties in to a question that was by Lindsay Convoy and DBurn7, which was, what was your first show and who did you play? And my first show was, I think it was a Scrooge musical that we did at my church, and I was Baby Jesus. So in our Scrooge production, my dad wrote this script about A Christmas Carol. And at the end, there is a nativity scene, and we had donkeys, we had camels, like we had live livestock, and there was Baby Jesus. And every Baby Jesus was a newborn. And one year, when I was born in October and our show was in December, so I was Baby Jesus. And that was my first role. So I came out of the womb and performed as Baby Jesus. I mean, not a lot of people can say that, but I think that's pretty cool. Broadway Baby 9 asks, what's your favorite role you've ever played? And I love you so much, you're so talented. Thank you, love. My favorite role I've ever played. Oh, that's so hard. There's a couple. I mean, recently, Fantine, oh, I played her before. I was her in high school. And it's a different experience when you portray her in high school versus a professional theater company. I mean, that had been, I think, 5 years since I had portrayed that role. So there's so much that has gone on in my life, so much that I could relate to Fantine versus when I was in high school. I mean, I still understood that character because I kind of lived through depression during that time, so I kind of used that for that character. Yeah, that would probably be my favorite role that I've portrayed. Chloe_Stone5 asks, if you could live in any land in a Disney movie, where would you live? Oh my goodness, that's a great question. Oh my. I'm trying to think of like all the movies and where the landscape is. Maybe The Little Mermaid, because the ocean is beautiful and to live right by the ocean is stunning, and it kind of reminds me of Greece, and I've always wanted to visit Greece. And I'd probably say either Beauty and the Beast or The Little Mermaid. Mediocre L asks, what's your biggest pet peeve? And I stated it before, but my biggest pet peeve are two-faced people. I cannot stand someone who's two-faced. Just be real. You don't need to put on a facade to fit in, and you don't need to act nice to someone and then behind their back stab them. It's just be who you are. If people don't like you for who you are, then you know what? That's their issue. It's not of your concern. That's just how I feel, and it's helped me get through life and eliminate negativity in my life. Magpie1209 asks, what would you consider your everyday clothing style to be? Well, I don't know. I would say very cutesy but comfortable. I'm very girly. I love to wear dresses, but I also love my sweats. And I like to be comfortable. So yeah, I would say casual, comfy, girly attire. I don't know. I'm sorry. I wish I could explain it to you, but I don't know. Wicked_Thespian asks, what's your biggest onstage mishap? Okay. So I have 2. One, I kind of improv'd through it and it was great. The other one I didn't, which was terrible. But one, I was in A Christmas Carol and this was back in 2011, and we were doing the fezzy wig scene, and I had this pink shirt on. It was a halter top that connected to the bottom, but it velcroed, which didn't make any sense. And I had to lift up furniture frequently because I had to make sure that we were playing a game and one of the guys was blindfold, literally blindfold, on the stage. And so whenever he tried to find us, I had to move the furniture around and move this table around. Well, we found out during rehearsal that my shirt, if I bent down, would rip open. So we safety pinned it. Well, during one of the shows, I don't think it was a school day show, I think it was like an actual show, but there were families there. The safety pin wasn't properly attached, so as I go down to pick up one of the tables, I hear whoosh, and I feel the entire row just kind of open up. I'm like, oh dear, what am I gonna do? So I run off stage because normally there's a guy standing there who was about to go on for the next scene, but he wasn't there. So I kind of try to Velcro it up, and then I walk back on, nonchalantly, and I go to pick up something else, and I hear shh. So I don't know what to do. This thing is falling off, and by this time the audience knows. So it got to the point where I bent down, or I'm doing this whole thing, and I'm trying to keep it up, and every time one of the ladies walks back past me, she kind of like pats it together. But then there was a point where I picked it up and turned because I had to move it. There was no way of telling the guy, hey, take off your blindfold because my shirt's falling off. I just had to go on with the show, and I bent down, came up, and my shirt came not fully off because I caught myself. But let's just say the audience laughed. It was we all broke character because we didn't know what to do. I mean, my top's coming off and I'm wearing a nude bra, so wouldn't be the best ideal situation for a kid to learn about breasts. But yeah, that was a mishap. And then recently, during Pet's Rule, I think it had been a while or something happened, and I'm in adoption, and it's one of the most serious moments, and I blanked. Could not remember a thing. And they say the show must go on, like you need to improv, like you need to just don't stop in deer in headlights. Well, I had my first deer in the headlights moment because I blanked, and I just stood there, and I'm looking at the trainers to try to get lines from them, and they were new trainers, so they didn't know any of the lines. So one of the trainers came up to me. Love her to death. Her name is Julie. She doesn't work there anymore, but she was one of the veterans. So she came up to me and just pats my shoulder and was like, I don't know the lines, but I'm here for moral support. And just pats me. And I'm looking up at the sound booth like, someone give me line, someone give me line. And no one could say the lines. Like, they're yelling at me, but I can't obviously hear it. Eventually, I get on track. I go, and the audience applauds for me. Oh, it was so sad. It was the most embarrassing moment. Phantom of the Barricade asks, what is your favorite musical of all time and why? So my favorite musical of all time would have to be Beauty and the Beast. It's been something that has captured my heart since I was a little girl, and I relate to Belle in more ways than one. Sometimes I feel like I'm the real live version of Belle, which may be very conceited, but it's just, I relate so much to her and her story and what she believes in and what she stands up for and what she's passionate about. I fully relate to her, and I wish, pray that I have an opportunity to portray that role, because that is like my dream, my ultimate dream role that I would love to be. All right, on to page 2. Woo! Oh man, this is gonna be a long one. Number 9, City Love, who I love, by the way, and I'm gonna leave her YouTube down below because if you are not subscribed to her, y'all are crazy and needed to check her out because her videos are out of this world. But she asks, when you're not singing, what do you love to do? I love to read. I just adore reading. Right now, I'm actually reading through my Jesus Calling Bible, and I'm also reading Gone Girl. But I also love to watch movies. I'm a huge movie fanatic. Oh, Netflix is my best friend. I love going to the movies. Like, the drive-in is one of my favorite things to do. I like to go to the movies alone. Those are just probably 2 things that I absolutely love. And Disneyland. I love going to Disneyland. I mean, who does not like going to Disneyland? So probably those 3 things are my favorite things at the moment. Ava Carmen, 18, asks, what do you use as inspiration or motivation? Right now, I am using this Jesus Calling devotional Bible. And it's so cool because it has just different passages in here. Like, it has the typical Bible verses and passages. but within it, it has a devotion on one side, and then it has just like a little saying, almost like a prayer, but I'll read you one. This one actually is the first one, and it's by Brianna, which is ironic, and they just come at the right moments in life. But this one says, Lord, you are more than my creator. You are my sustainer. You provide every bit of wisdom and help that I ever need. There is never a problem, a situation, or a decision where I cannot count on you. And yet so often, in the freedom that you have graciously given me, I am guilty of forging ahead and doing things my way, as if my ideas, plans, and methods are better than yours. What's more, I do things without consulting you first, and sometimes without consulting you at all. My failure to look at you wears on me. I get tired of being inconsistent in my relationship with you. Would you help me learn? Would you show me where I'm going wrong and how to stay on track? I really do want to include you in all my decisions, not just to avoid the trouble that comes with foolish choices, but to please you. More importantly, I want to be right with you. It's so motivational. It's such a breath of fresh air, and I would encourage anyone to pick this up or ask for this to be a gift for Christmas or any holiday that you celebrate that's coming up. I just think it's a wonderful way to be inspired and motivated to get through every day, because life can be hard. Life can be very hard. Like I said before, I struggle with depression, and life can be incredibly challenging. And so I encourage you to pick up your Bible, and if reading your Bible is very difficult, I would encourage you to pick up something like this, where you'll have devotions and it explains what you're reading and why you're reading it and what it pertains to your life and how you can encourage and motivate yourself to live a better lifestyle. Leading man Chris, who I adore, I love this guy with all my heart. He's like a little brother to me, and he is amazing. And if you're not following him on Instagram, you better go check him out. But he asks, how excited would you be if I ever came over to the States? What's the first thing we would do if I ever came over? I would be ecstatic. I would give him the biggest hug. I would be so excited to have you here. And the first thing we would do is we would drive all the way to Anaheim, and we would go to Disneyland, because we have to go to Disneyland together. That's a fact. We would have to go to Disneyland. Of course, we're going to go to, SeaWorld auditions together, because you have to be in Madagascar, but that's the first thing we would do. We would go to Disneyland. Katie Sings Broadway asks, if you could spend one day with any famous figure, alive or not, who would it be and why? That is so hard. Probably have to say Julie Andrews. Julie Andrews is someone who I've really loved since I was a little girl. Someone who has inspired me since I was little. And when she lost her voice, I bawled my eyes out. Because it was like, even though it was her losing a part of herself, it was like I was losing a part of myself, because I grew up loving this woman, and I would love to sit down with her and talk to her, and I think it would be a breath of fresh air to spend a day with Julie Andrews. I mean, how cool would that be? She also asks, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be? Okay, number 1, to be Belle on Broadway. That would be amazing. Number 2 would be to travel all over the world singing. Number 3 would be to be Belle in the movie musical version of Beauty and the Beast. I don't know if you can tell, but I really want to be Belle. So I think those 3 would be my 3 wishes. I hope it doesn't jinx it, but those would be my 3 wishes. The chorus girl asks, what's your favorite non-musical song? I don't know. Non-musical song? Okay. I don't think it's a musical theater song, because it's not in any musical. Yes, it's a musical, but it's not a musical theater song. And it would be Beautiful by Jim Brickman and Wayne Brady. And I know you all have heard it, and you all sang it to me for my birthday, which was the best gift ever from you guys. Like, that was the sweetest thing. And that would probably have to be my favorite non-musical theater song. Sassy Fangirls ask, what was the first role / musical you starred in? Okay. The first musical that I starred in was in 3rd grade, and I portrayed the role of Annie. And my dad, going into it, told me, Brianna, you're probably not going to get this role, because I was very shy. Very, very shy. It was to the point where my 1st grade teacher told my parents that I probably should go into special ed class because I'm not talking. Even though outside of school, I was very outgoing, just in school I was very, very shy. But in 3rd grade, I auditioned for the role of Annie, and my dad said, congratulate the girl whoever gets the role, because you're not going to get it, and that's okay. Just be grateful for the role that you did get if you got in the show. So I looked it up, and even my third grade teacher was shocked that I auditioned for the show. And I went up to the bulletin board and saw that my name was Annie. I called my dad, and I cried. He cried. He was so shocked. I was shocked. Everyone was shocked. But it was such a great experience, and it was definitely a humbling experience. It was kind of my stepping point as far as realizing, maybe this is something that I want to do. The Masquerade, aka Alex and Madison, asked, how come you decided to make this account? I'm really happy you did because you're fabulous. I love you. Thank you, doll. Okay, so here's a story for you. I like to tell stories, so here's a story for you. I used to have a personal account. It was Brianna Hertzberg. And I tried to post videos on there, singing videos on there, but people got annoyed. They were kind of not fed up with me posting videos, but they didn't want to listen to videos. Well, one day I was looking at a girl's account that I followed, and she was into Disney, and someone had posted on one of her videos, hey, you should audition for my princess casting. And I thought, what? People are casting actual shows via Instagram? Like, it's come to this now? Instead of meeting in person or doing video submissions, you can audition for shows via Instagram? How awesome is that? So I clicked on it, and I got a bit confused. I was like, wait, this is a child casting a show? What's going on? And they had said Insta Show Now, and as soon as I clicked on Insta Show Now, it was a whole new world, because all of a sudden this musical theater community came about that I had never heard of, and I was like, this is so cool! But it's all young kids. I feel super weird posting videos of myself and tagging them for shows, even though I'm a professional actress and singer. So for a while, I just had like the blank screen where you just hear my voice. And it was fun. I didn't tell anyone about this because I was so embarrassed that I was auditioning for these things. But as soon as I created some friendships and people started following me, I was like, okay, Brianna, just bite the bullet. Just do it. Just post your face. And it was probably the best decision I've ever made. And from there, I've stopped auditioning for those castings. I did a while ago. But it was a fun way to get followers, to create friendships, to create a fan base. It was a great way to step into this community, and I do not regret any of it. Broadway_girl0523 asks, which musical theater actress is the most influential in your life? Well, growing up, like I said, it was Julie Andrews, but right now I'd have to say it is Laura Osnes. Laura Osnes is someone who I truly relate with. She is beautiful both inside and out. She stands firm in what she believes in. She doesn't sway from her character. She does step out of her boundary, but she doesn't go overboard, and I truly admire that. I don't know, she's just someone that has inspired me, and I hope to live my life the way that she does. Jill Sta asks, top 3 dream roles. Okay, it changes frequently, but I would probably have to say Belle. Since I've already played Fantine, I'm not going to say Fantine, but Belle. Okay, let's say this. Top 3 dream roles. Roles I've not portrayed would be Belle, Glinda, and Christine. Top 3 dream roles that I would want to be on Broadway, because obviously I've not been on Broadway, it would be Belle, Fantine, and Christine. So yeah, it's pretty much the same for those other 2, but since I've already portrayed Fantine, Fantine would be a fun role to portray again, if it was a professional company again, but Belle and Christine are definitely 2 roles that I would love to be, and Glinda is such a fun role. Dbren7 asks, who is one of your dream roles that you'll never be able to play? And that is, you will curse the day you did not do all that the phantom asks of you. Yes, that is the role. Oh, even just just like thinking about that. Like, whew, that is a role that I would love to portray, and I'll never get the opportunity to play it. Ugh, it's just like, that is my dream gender bend role. Number 1, for sure, the Phantom. Love him. Hello _ Hannah 16 asks, what do you love most about fall? I love the changing of the leaves, the falling of the leaves, the changing of the colors of the leaves. My community, it is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I just love the colors. Like, it is just beautiful, and the crisp air, not when it's too cold, but right when it's just that chilly, cool weather where it's not too cold, not too sunny, it's just perfect. That is my favorite thing about fall. Eliza Bliss, I love Eliza Bliss. Eliza Bliss asks, if you were given 5 tickets for free, all expenses paid, vacation to anywhere in the world, where would you go and who would you bring? That is hard. Well, I'd probably have to say a trip through Europe, because why not? It's expenses paid. I would love to just go through all of Europe with my girls. I just think it would be fun to have a girls trip. Just have one-on-one time with my best friends, and I think it would be a blast. So I would say, oh gosh, 5 girls. Tabitha, Amanda W, Amanda H, I would say Clara, and Jenna. I think those 5, because Clara and Jenna have, even though we only know each other via Instagram, I think it would be so much fun for all 5 of us to go on this trip. I think it would be a blast. I think we would all love it, because we all have pretty much a lot in common. She also asks, what are your thoughts on doing live broadcasts with YouTube? Other IG singers can be guests as you answer questions and have duets together. I think that would be so much fun. What do you guys think? If you think that's a good idea for me to do some YouTube broadcasts, give this video a thumbs up and comment down below if you'd be interested. I think that would be a fun way to do some Q&As, like live Q&As, and to sing. I don't know. Just let me know if you guys would like that, because I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary, and that might be something we could do. So let me know down below if you are up for that. Cindy _ 0 Choa 0 asks, how to get a vibrato. I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could tell you, but I'm not a vocal teacher. My dad taught me how to get vibrato, but I don't remember how he helped me out with that. You know what? Let's call him and ask.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, I just have a quick question for you. I'm doing a question and answer video for YouTube, and they asked, how do you get vibrato?
How do you get vibrato?
Yes, how do you get vibrato?
Well, vibrato is, oh gosh.
I know.
Vibrato comes naturally.
Like, how did you teach me? Because you taught me how to train my vibrato. How did you do that?
Well, you know, a little kid, it's a little bit different when you're a little kid versus, because little kids don't naturally have vibrato.
Okay.
It usually comes around puberty, or there maybe a little bit before.
Okay.
The vibrato starts to, but it has to do with the breath support. There's the Billy, some people have that Billy Goat vibrato. My vibrato is a lot faster than like your vibrato.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it is, you know, it's that wavering of the pitch that is a natural part of breath control, and it's more, it has to do, you know, with relaxing and really just letting the voice do what it naturally wants to do. Straight tone, if somebody has, the vibrato is something that's very natural. Straight tone is less natural. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Once somebody has a vibrato, you have to, like with you have to like
Think.
control the breath.
Yes.
To control the vibrato,
Yeah.
and then you relax into your vibrato as you are holding the note,
Mm-hmm.
or you choose to let the vibrato be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if they're young, to say, for the most part, as you relax and as you sing correctly, with good breath support and not tightening, and relaxing the throat, relaxing the vocal cords, relaxing all those muscles. When you relax those muscles, if you are singing correctly, the vibrato will naturally come there. And you can say, that as you age, it'll naturally come as you age.
Okay.
And then you can say, now if you're young and you're trying to add vibrato and you don't have vibrato yet, that's a different story. And then they could do a follow-up question and you could do some research on the internet. I don't remember how I worked with you, but I know it was like listening to it. And you can hear when a little kid is adding vibrato to their voice.
Yeah.
And it's like they just kind of learn to shake their voice a little bit. Because it doesn't sound as natural as like what your vibrato sounds now.
Right.
What you do when you hear like some of these singers on these talent shows that are on TV, they're like, 8 years old and they have this vibrato. It doesn't sound real natural.
Right.
As you age, if you just relax and you're singing properly and you're not forcing the tone, the vibrato will become natural.
Awesome.
And you can learn to control it. You can learn to relax into a wider vibrato, to reduce the size of the vibrato, reduce the amount of vibrato, or go straight to straight tone. As you practice and learn your voice. But the most important thing is that you're going to tell them is to sing correctly with plenty of breath support so you don't hurt your voice.
Okay. Well, awesome. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
By the way, you might hear some noises back and forth in here. My grandparents and my cousin just got home, so if you see them, don't mind them. All right, next question is from Alexa Sings Musicals. Love her to death. She says, if we were to star in a musical together, what would it be and who would we play? Okay. I would say we would either be in Annie together and she would be Mrs. Hannigan, even though I don't think she's ever posted a video of her as Mrs. Hannigan. I actually think that would be a great role for you, Alexa. I think you would kill that role, and that's a good thing. But I would say you as Miss Hannigan and me as Grace, or I would say Les Mis and you as Madame Thénardier and me as Fantine. So those would probably be the two, but mostly Annie. I think Annie would be a great musical for us, and I really think you should look into those songs because I think you would kill little girls. Mr. Kuzda asks, if you were to pick any role on Broadway, who would it be? I don't know what he means by that, so I'm going to take it as though he meant any role that's on Broadway right now. And I would say Glinda in Wicked. I think that would be such a fun role. She has so much depth, and you really get to see her grow as a person in the show, and you get to be the comedic relief, which is also fun too. So I would definitely say Glinda in Wicked. Leading Man Chris says, who's the top 5 Instagrammers that you love to follow? Can be anyone. Okay. In no particular order. Whew, this is hard. I love a lot of you. So if I don't say your name, then don't feel bad, because top 5 is hard. My top 5 in no particular order would be Jordan Gilbert Auditions, Jenna Marie Sings, Theater Girl Rose, BRB Princessing, and Brookie Broadway. Those would definitely be my top 5, because I love those girls and they're near and dear to my heart. I Pretend to Sing says, quick, it's a zombie apocalypse. What's your weapon of choice? Oh, I guess a gun? I don't know. I don't know. I would hide and cry and scream. I don't know. I would guess, I don't know. I don't watch zombie movies. Like, I don't watch The Walking Dead, so I don't know what would kill a zombie. So, yeah, that's what I would use. _the_awkward_actress_ asks, do you take voice lessons? If so, how long have you been taking them? I don't take voice lessons, but I did take voice lessons when I was in college, and I took them for about a year and a half, and then my dad was kind of like my vocal coach, so I guess you could say, as far as that's concerned, he taught me until I was maybe 15, maybe? I don't know. But as far as professional vocal coach is concerned, I've only had one, and it was for a year and a half. ECP Theater Girl 11 asks, if you could be in one show with me, what would it be? And that would be Annie. You'd be Annie, I'd be Grace, and I think that would be a fun show. Of course, you know, Les Mis would be fun too with you as little Cosette, but Cosette and Fantine really don't interact, so I would definitely want to do Annie with you. Theater Girl Rose, Clara, love you girl, says, I adore your YouTube channel, and I adore yours too. I don't know if you deleted yours or not, but if she hasn't, you gotta check out her videos, because she is a down-to-earth person, and I think you would really love her as well. She says, what is the role you think you will play on Broadway? Not necessarily your dream role, but the role you can see yourself being cast as most. I would say, because of my age right now, I would say maybe Dorothy. I think that could be a role that I could see someone casting me as right now. That's the first one that popped in my head. There might be something that's better, but definitely Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. She is somewhat of a dream role. She would be a role that I would love to portray, but I think that would be the one that a casting director might pick me for a show. She also asks, what are your favorite go-to vegan snacks? Ooh, okay. I love Go Raw pizza snacks. Those are so good. They're flax snack seed, like crackers. They're so delicious. I love, there's like vegan fruit roll-up type things that I really love. I love hummus and chips, or hummus and bean chips are really good. There's like I think that's what they're called, bean chips. I don't know. It was in my favorites video. I love hummus and carrots. That's really good. Those are definitely my top vegan snacks. I'm sure there are more, but I just can't think of them right now. Maddie_sings_Broadway asks, do you plan on auditioning for a Broadway show in your lifetime? Sure, if the opportunity came my way, then yeah. But for Broadway shows, I've tried to audition for them before, but you have to be equity unless they can see you. Grandpa is listening to my answer while getting a bag of chips. He is intrigued by this question as he is digging up chips. Yeah, I would love to audition. Sorry if I'm laughing. That made me laugh. I would love to audition for a Broadway show if I had the opportunity. I've been to Broadway auditions before, but it's very rare that they see non-equity members. And the final question, woohoo! We're at the final question! Dia Dreams asks, what really inspired you to go into this career and lifestyle? Oh dear.
Grandma.
Did you hear her? Grandma said, my grandma. I don't know. Like I said, I've been in musical theater since I was a little girl, and probably the feedback that I got from being Annie was definitely something that made me think, I want to do this. Actually, no. I know what made me go into it. So for a while, it was something that I really, really loved. And I went, and I explained this in my previous Q&A video, so if you've already seen it, then yay, that's awesome. But I auditioned for The Little Mermaid on Broadway. They were looking for an Ariel to replace Sierra Boggess, and they were having open calls. And I went to the audition in Colorado, and I sang, and they called me back. And right when I was about to sing again, and they were going to have me go on to the next callback, I made the mistake of putting my age, and I was 17 at the time, and in order to work for Disney and be a lead that's not a child's role, you have to be 18 or above. Just legal terms, it's what they have to do. So I was not 18 yet, and so the casting director was so disappointed and said, which schools are you thinking of going to? So I listed off a couple of names of schools that I was considering, and I named AMDA. And I listed off AMDA, and she said, if you go to AMDA, contact me, as I think you'd be perfect for Disney, and I would love to get in contact with you. So she gave me her business card, and I kept onto it, and then for the showcase, I went to go look her up, and she no longer works for Disney, as far as musical theater is concerned. So that was a bummer. But that just kind of jump-started my career is, okay, here's my first professional audition that I'm stepping into, and the fact that a casting director for Disney, which is my dream company to work for, told me that I would be perfect for Disney. What's stopping me? Like, what is stopping me? And just kind of jump-started of, okay, here you go. So, graduated high school. I think it was like a week or two later, I moved to New York and went to school and lived there by myself for 2 years, and then traveled to Tennessee and have been doing professional theater since. So that definitely probably was just kind of like the kickstart and kind of kicked me into jump-starting this career that hopefully goes on for a while. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this very long video. I have a lot of editing to do. Thank you so much for the questions, and thank you so much for being loyal followers. It means a lot to me. Your comments, your compliments, your questions, everything just are near and dear to my heart, and I want to thank you guys so much for being there for me. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. If you liked this video and want to see more videos, then click the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you next week. Take care.